Welcome everybody to week 7 of A Link to the Past Randomizer League. We have a match between Team Kappa and Waffle House Drive-Thru tonight. Both teams looking for a win. They both need to win in order to make the playoffs. They are tied at 7-5, fighting for the last playoff spot in their division. Joined with me today is Wolflink. How are you doing?
Good evening, everyone. I'm doing very good. It's gone wild. So today we have Team Kappa, represented by Fearagent and Gammachuu, versus Team Waffle House Drive, who represented by Demo and saltyphry. And as you said, this is for a playoff spot here. According to my note, Team Kappa will cinch it through the tiebreakers if they win this race. But Waffle House Drive-Thru, if they win, it's not as clear cut. I don't know the full details on that. But what I do know is that this is Atomizer. So, to give you guys a blanket idea of how Atomizer works, it's basically all the enemies are shuffled in the game. And Atomizer has this weird quirk that enemies in kill rooms that normally require something like, say, the bow, the game doesn't exactly, the item placement logic doesn't exactly account for the enemies being shuffled. So, the logic for progressing through the dungeons is still the same, even if the enemies are killable as we get started here. In addition, this is full boss shuffle, which means every single boss will appear once, and 3 bosses will appear twice. We don't know if it's Trinex, we don't know if it's the Armos Knights, we don't know. What we do know is that we have a map check, and it looks like we have a pendant up in Hera and a red crystal in Desert.
Yeah, so another thing about Atomizer is, with the enemies randomized, safety items are at a big premium in this mode. However, it is also co-op, so you're probably not going to have quite as much safeties as you'd like to see. So we will likely see some deaths in this game. So it should be pretty interesting to see how this plays out.
Yep, we can already see some topos on the ground there, and enemies normally jump out on the grass, pretty easy to kill. And Agga is required today. There's no getting around that hook shot. Well, maybe. No, we need to get cheat. What am I saying? Of course we need
it. Yeah, I don't think Gamma can hover. I'm not sure. I know Fear Agent can. Not sure about Waffle House Drive-Thru.
Yeah. And you can see there's just a whole slew of enemies around it. Getting something there like a Lionel is very dangerous. As we have the Mimic Areas, we have the flute over in the cave. And we also got some poultries that give us a lot of bombs as well.
Oh, that roller. Okay, it's going the wrong direction.
Yeah, that would have been really bad. So yeah, as this is info share, there is a few extra bits of information here, and basically what this is normally in a randomizer, you're supposed to get information, and you are just racing complete independent of your partner, and you just don't know where to go. Oh, because you can't tell you the items. We allow the runners in this case to share their information, so Gammachuu knows that the flute is over in the Lost Woods dropdown and knows the hook shot of Agga because he checked. And now Gammachuu will in turn tell Fearagent that the race game has ether.
Oh, Salty taking a death there. That was not intentional.
And so, there are our boots right early in the plane's basement. Also, from the matchup, we did determine that we have a blue crystal over in Eastern Palace, so we will need the bow at some point.
Yeah,
and maybe some other stuff.
Boots and flute early already is really, really nice. I mean, just in pretty much any rando format, those are like the best movement items in the game.
Now here's something interesting. saltyphry just passed a fish close to Kakariko. That is actually a really good enemy spawn, because you can take the fish to the merchant, and the merchant tosses you 100 rupees. He also tosses you a red rupee. He also tosses you a full magic, a pack of 8 bombs, and 10 arrows. very worth your time to carry a fish all the way to the merchant, and there's one just outside the village on the north side.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually done that in all my years of playing Rando. But it is a strat.
Most surely an Atomizer exclusive strategy because the normal fish spawns are all the way over by the dam.
Yeah. The chicken hut was basically vanilla with chickens, but that's actually one of the more dangerous places early on in the game. A lot of times you get like guards and stuff in there that are pretty nasty to deal with on 3 hearts.
Yeah, thankfully another feature of Randomizer is damage shuffle, but we're not dealing with that here. It's just enemy placement. Alright, so the foods are now online for all 4 of our runners, looks like. Oh, Gammachuu still hasn't picked it up yet. So we've got a good amount of items early on, but nothing really to defend ourselves save for some bombs.
Yeah, no weapons yet, really, so that's definitely something you'd like to see in Atomizer.
We're seeing our first flutes. So they're heading to eastern area, whereas fearagent rather, got the names wrong there, is looking to head over to desert with the book in hand, and there's the lamp.
Yeah, the lamp is a really nice item to have in this mode because the dark rooms are potentially like almost impossible to do without the lamp. So I'm sure runners are going to be very happy to find that early.
Yeah, to give people an idea, just because we normally see in the dark, there is 6 teeth normally in the old man cave, as we get a Titan's bit there as well. Speaking of the old man cave, you can now access that. That's from the front. But yeah, those 6 keys can be 6 BMOs. It can be a bunch of guards. They can be quite dangerous. See some Lionels and some... I forget that one's enemy name, unfortunately. Help.
Okay,
One single Heavisaur amongst all the mold worms.
Yeah, this is a fairly vanilla-ish mold worm cave. Nicely cleared up by Fear. Demo
Money,
going
bombs,
with Beast Rats.
Wake Medallion. The cape and a sword. That's Agga access. And really early Aghanim access too, which is making me think that our Moon Pearl is fairly early. But more importantly than that, our hookshot is just as early. Like, we can go get our hookshot right now.
That's true.
And honestly,
yeah, the Moon Pearl could be on Death Mountain on the east side, and just, you gotta go get the hookshot.
Possibly, yes. One thing for sure though is, and so we get Master Sword. Yeah, that's telling as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's definitely leaning pretty heavily in that direction. I think at least one runner from both teams is probably gonna rush that if I had to guess. But
yeah, we're most likely looking at Agga required to just access the west side of Dark World. As far as where the Moon Pearl is, anywhere in the Light World still up for grabs. We're seeing some bonk rock checks here, nothing of note.
another thing to note is that Agga Tower.
Ooh! I didn't mean to cut you off there, Ganon, well, but that is a warped 8. You dropped right in front of a mega spike. There's no way you can avoid that. You're going to take damage every time you flew to 8.
Yeah, getting the ice cave in Atomizer is actually a little bit sketchy early on. Especially like if you dash over there with boots, you can just run into enemies pretty easily, or like a roller. So you got to be careful. So I believe Salty didn't actually get these checks that Fear Agent's doing.
Yeah, Salty also didn't take damage. I forgot there is a little bit of invincibility there, but that is still a very weird Mega Spike placement. I'm glad there was iframes there. And there is a lot happening here. So much so that we got not one but two trackers keeping those items up today for you. We have Alador and Mindful Beast keeping those items up today for you tonight. Bottom's Velvet Cell has the Fire Rod.
There's Fire Rod.
We have this trap here, which is actually really useful for Fear Agent. You're going to use it to death warp.
Yeah, this is still faster than saving and quitting, of course. But yeah, it's a little bit funny to watch him have to dash into it.
Oh my goodness, we have Tempered Sword already from saltyphry. I didn't even see where that was.
Yeah, Where could that have been? Not sure.
Back of Escape it says, so...
Oh, Back of Escape. That must have been Dark Cross, I guess.
Most likely. Oh no, we can just look the Sanctuary Rocks.
Oh.
And saltyphry's making the play into Agga. And SpeedGaming, thank you for joining us in the Party 86. We've only just gotten started here with a co-op Infiltrator Randomizer, in which we already know that this is going to be an Agga required seed because the hookshot is on the Lumberjack ledge.
Ooh, Lionel's in this room. This is sketchy. Yeah, what I was actually going to say earlier was that Agga Tower is actually pretty scary with Atomizer on.
Yeah, there is the Tempered Sword, as we see it on Gammachoo's end. Also, looks like something went wrong with Gammachoo's feed there. We'll hopefully get that fixed for you guys.
Yeah, Fear Agent taking a death there, but wasn't too far into the dungeon. Yeah, when I play Atomizer, I really have to, not get too tilted by deaths, and you just kind of have to expect that it's going to happen probably once or twice. Oh, Fear Agent, you already checked that chest, buddy. A little bit of autopiloting there.
Oh boy. Saltyphry not having a fun time there.
Oh, you gotta be careful.
If only the game can measure. Smart.
Boomerang would be pretty useful against guards as well.
We have 3 runners in escape right now. So I think Fear Agent was going to attempting to use Ether here, but did not quite have enough magic. Does have it now.
Yeah, that's a really nice magic drop. You can just blast stuff with Fire Rod.
And the Chibuzas are also turning to red guards. Very annoying. Maybe we'll see the rare... Have we seen the rare enemy yet?
The rare enemy?
There is an enemy that is actually going on the game that is viewable in Atomizer. The Cannon Guard.
Oh, the Cannon Guard.
We got a Givo here, the Shadows.
Yeah, so we got all 4 players in Agga Tower now. Looks like both teams not deciding to maybe do some more overworld checks, just both gonna go straight for that hook shot. They could potentially complete something like Eastern, but I think it makes sense, with low low health, not a lot of gear. You know, probably don't want to gamble that you can actually beat the Eastern boss yet.
So, I forget, has Demo Saltyphry got information on Lumberjack Ledge, or did they just do Ganon for say?
I don't recall, but I feel like in co-op you usually would check Lumberjack, so I would expect that they did check it early on. It's chat saying demo checked Lumberjack. So
Okay, so all 4 runners know that this is required.
yeah.
Yeah, a 15-minute Agga seed. That's a good way to start off this last week of Swiss. This is whatever. I'm getting myself.
Yeah. One thing to note as well is that this is not all dungeons like the co-op in the beginning of the season, so you do not have to do the pendant dungeons or well, this seed you have to do Agga, but it'll be interesting to see how teams route because all dungeons you don't really take as many gambles, and so it'll be interesting to see, do they bother with pendants? Do they try to avoid them?
Well, the thing is, as we get our first look at the pyramid, if they do need to go into pendant dungeon, they can divide and come. And it's only 20 rubies on the pyramid, so looks like that hookshot may be locking the Moon Pearl. Or it just could be an Eastern Palace and we never went up deep enough to find out. I like how the Minish Bunny as well. Alright, so Saltyphry will be the first of our runners to getting the hook shot. We'll see where he goes next. fearagent making a minor detour here to go with the Tempered Sword, which was relayed to him by Gammachuu.
Yeah, you definitely want that sword, and Atomizer.
There's our Dark World matchup. Swamp Palace and Ice Palace, specifically the Green Pendant. Our other 5/6 is also Palace of Darkness. So Demo, the second person in, is doing the matchup. Smart for our 2 runners.
Where did Saltyphry pick up that cane?
The Cane Safari was in I believe the Eastern area.
Oh, Eastern area, okay.
I don't think Saltyphry jumped into Eastern Palace specifically, but I think it was in Sahasrara's house.
Okay, Saha. Yeah, I mean, that's not a check I would expect Team Kappa to put off for too long. And it's not really useful until you get the mitts anyway, so.
Looks sounds like we had a bow sighting. There it is.
Yeah, bow's an interesting item. It's not, like, it's really only logically, or it's logically required, but it's not actually necessary to beat anything besides, I believe, Pod. But Pod is a crystal here, so we will need the bow.
Yeah. And again, folks, if you missed it earlier, my explanation, Atomizer does not change the item logic requirements for kill rooms. So in the rooms that have enemies that would normally be killable by the bow, like say the boss of Eastern Palace for most nights, it still considers those rooms bow locked, even though red Igors cannot appear there, or red mimics, or gorillas as they are known. Alright, our first look at Paradise Cave here by Saltyphry. We're pretty sure the mountain here has progression. So let's see what we got. 3 bombs and 300 rupees. Not that we need money at this point.
Demolisher with 1 heart. Gotta be careful. Oh, there's our moon
Pearl.
pearl.
And some armor.
Ooh, that's
And
nice.
bombos. That's all 3 medallions.
Wow. Well, Paradox Cave coming through.
And there's no way to avoid the hookshot to speed because we don't even have our mirror or our hammer to make the play to get the moon pearl. And it's very unlikely that they're on Eastern Palace.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything to Dark World, and the seed's pointing you to Agga, so you're pretty much just following the breadcrumbs here and going up Death Mountain.
Yep, Sprout the last check. We're probably going to see saltyphry redip the eastern area and go scouting in Eastern Palace, where I'll demo decides to check Dark Overworld with Village of Outcasts in that area.
This anti-fairy is extremely annoying here. Oh, saltyphry dying. That's rough. I mean, Demolisher will probably be able to check that for him since it's co-op, so it's not like they won't get the information. But yeah, hopefully for their sake, it's not important.
Yeah, saltyphry here can just reroute and go somewhere else. And it looks like he's going to be the one to do the Dark Map. Or it's going back into Cairo Castle.
Was there something on Uncle? I don't recall.
No, he's going this way so it doesn't warp to Dark World.
Oh, yeah, he already has the portal there, yeah.
Because killing Aghanim is a trigger that makes the gate a portal to the Dark World.
Yeah, he died earlier and did not get that fire rod in Zelda's cell, so that's why he has to come back here for it. A little curious that he didn't go back when he was here earlier, maybe just an oversight.
But yeah, Hinoxes are no joke. They're one of the more dangerous enemies. Thankfully, they die and won't hit the bomb.
Yeah, early game Atomizer is pretty rough with low hearts because a lot of enemies just like one-shot you or two-shot you, so gotta be careful. Wow, Fear Agent dashing right past the anti-fairy. That was nice.
Alright, and the item that Saltyfry died on was 20 rupees. So thankfully, Saltyfry's death there was not as bad as it could have been. And Demo will relay that information to Saltyfry and tell him, you don't have to come back here. You don't have to worry about it. So, then it will be a load off his mind. First look at Desert Ledge. It is 10 arrows. And our first look into Desert Palace, because both of our runners on the left have the book.
Yeah, Gamma's gonna take a dip into Eastern here.
Yeah, it looks like our light world is being checked here. Get the map from the front of Eastern. See if anything else is there. Desert and Eastern are both clearable and they're both crystals. So this does make sense for Team Cav to get 2 early crystals on the board.
Well, you say they're both clearable, but we won't know for sure until we see the boss.
Yes, that is true, because this is full ball shuffle. Well,
yeah.
It's very likely that they have everything they need, but if they find a Trinex, can't fight him.
Yeah.
And I think Trinex is the only boss they cannot fight.
Yeah, I believe that is the only boss. They would have to go with bomb strats for Helmasaur King, because they don't have the hammer, so hopefully they got enough bombs.
They barely have enough bombs. Rooker will take 6 bombs to blow up Helmasaur King's map. Or is it 5? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think I've rarely ever used bomb strats, so...
Regardless, they seem to have enough bombs for the future to spare.
Yeah. Catfish with just looked like $50. I'd expect Salty to head over to the Western Dark World.
All right, getting our last checks here. Another advantage of Atomizer, the ring of bubbles there is considered an enemy, so we got to change to something else.
I believe the runners found a blue potion somewhere, right?
I'm not ever. Oh, gee.
Use the hook shot.
This is a very packed room.
Well,
Gammachuu, that was a lot of enemies there.
yeah,
Wow.
Gammachuu getting a little lucky there, but he gets through.
And there's just a ton of guards here blocking the way to what would normally be the first instance of Lamolas.
fearagent pulling out bombos. Those medallions are actually quite nice to clear these types of rooms in Atomizer. So
Yeah.
I like that play.
All right, this is gonna be the danger room. Oh, lots of mini Homosaurs. It's only for taking another death, unfortunately.
Was that in the Overworld?
And it's
Okay.
Moldorm in Eastern. And it's Vinny over in Desert. So those are two bosses we can defeat. Moldorm goes down pretty easily. It's a 6 or 7-eyed Moldorm.
Fearagent is gonna run out of magic here.
Yeah, get some nice dash us in there. Thankfully, there's no slime here, so he can just hang back and just wail on the boss to his heart's content.
Yeah, cape is actually another pretty nice item to have in Atomizer. This is kind of an easy mode Atomizer. I gotta say, they got like potions, tempered early, like cape. I feel like the seed is too kind.
Yeah, so they're probably gonna be checking Skull Woods here. And Gammachuu will now be picking up the Cane Samari along with whatever else was in here, a Peace Heart and the Red Boomerang. That Cane Samari is required because
Gammachuu headed back into the Dark World here. Gonna check out Western Dark World. Or potentially go into Pod, actually. It's another possible play. Wouldn't be able to clear it, though, without the hammer. Yeah, it just looks like he's gonna head over to Western Dark World. Probably gonna check Catfish first.
Yeah, this makes sense because checking Cap. This is the
Yeah,
longer check,
it.
and this is something that we can do. And also, Gammachuu can opt to not do Desert, knowing that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
As can fearagent in regards to Eastern Palace. But fearagent still has to come in this area to get the candies from Mario. So for the other runner of the duo, they can afford to do the Pod Eastern, and Desert Mire combination plays, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they just think that the 5-6 crystals are important, in which case fearagent might have to do... Or no, Gammachuu might have to do Desert sooner rather than later.
Saltyphry.
But fearagent...
Sorry to interrupt. He's having to fight Armos with just sword beams because he doesn't have that many arrows. So I believe he only got 5 arrows here. So this is kind of an annoying fight.
So something we should point here, as this is the first instance of this rule coming into play. There are certain restrictions on where bosses can be. In the case of... Wow, that was interesting. Of Armos Knights being here in Skull Woods, that is a valid option, but the one boss that can't be here is Trinet. And the Lambo 2 Chamber in GT cannot contain the Flying the Thief. Moldworm can only have a assortment of 5 different bosses, one of which being Moldworm herself, the other 4 being Bulbasaur, Mothula, Cold Stare, or Vitreous. And we've already seen a Vitreous as well. So, some things to keep in mind here going forward. And the Moldworm Arena rule applies to both versions of Moldworm. So, the one in Hera and the one in Ganon's Tower. We may not see the one in Hera, though.
Yep, so both Waffle House drive-thru members in Skull Woods here, not really splitting up the work or exploration too much. Was there anything in the back here, or are they just both deciding to do Armos? Well, at least Demo has more arrows, so hopefully this fight isn't as obnoxious.
Yeah.
Interesting. Both teams passing on the early pod dip.
I mean, it makes sense at this stage to just wait for the hammer to full clear the dungeon.
Yeah, it makes sense. It just some teams do like to just try to split up as fast as they can, but I do think it's a good call.
There's our 3rd bottle. Ooh, Gammachuu unfortunately getting killed there.
Yeah. That's like the 4th death we've seen now between all the runners, so it's gonna happen.
I think it's actually been like 5 or 6. So we also saw Demo die, but I think that was intentional death.
Yeah, the death count's getting kind of high, but that's Atomizer, especially with fairly low percent in terms of hearts.
Yeah, we're still, as far as I'm concerned, in the early game Atomizer.
Yeah.
Once we get about maybe another 15 minutes in, then we might see less death. But fairly, the one thing the seed has not been kind enough to do is give us a lot of hearts. We're still on blue mail, but we've only got 5 and 6 hearts respectively across all our runners. I think Demo has the highest health at 7. Yeah, he has 7 hearts.
I'm not giving these guys any excuses. They got tempered, they got blue mail, they got potions, they got cape. No deaths, man.
Straight into Blind's fight here, and it's Lambo! That's a nice perk of these down. You don't have to go get the maiden. Unless it's a vanilla blind. So we can get the fight done really quick, and then we can come back in later to get the items if needed.
Oh, so Sphere Agent did skip the back and just went straight to the boss?
Yeah, because you can do that in Atomizer.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if they actually did that. Because in co-op, it's, I think, a little bit less valuable to skip stuff since you have 2 people that can check stuff at the same time. But I don't know how many items are actually in the back.
We pulled a big key from the front. I know that much because it's obvious. I wasn't sure how many items they got either, though. I wasn't paying attention to that.
Salty just got a map, so the max they could get is 2 in the front.
Yeah, they got a bottle and for sure, and I just don't remember what the 4th item is.
Fear Agent getting a heart container out of the digging game. I'm sure he's not mad about that.
Stuffy only having 3 bombs for us today. Paingator's there, always being a troll. And it's a small key, so there's 3 items in the back.
Okay, yeah, I mean, in co-op, I don't know if I'm skipping the back, but I mean, this is a big match, so you might see teams take some gambles here.
I think this is actually a safe play that they're making because they don't want to triple dip Thieves Town.
Oh, that's a good point. They do not have the hammer. so they could not. They potentially might not be able to get everything anyway. So
Yeah,
this is a
so
good
they're
call
playing
then.
it safe and waiting to at least try to find the hammer first.
Well,
I can appreciate that play, honestly.
oh yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if it actually bears any fruits, because we might see Demo check the back of D-Town instead for his partner.
Yeah, and could be interesting if the hammer is just sitting back there.
And it looks like we will be seeing that play from Demo, so we will get some new information from him. There's only the compass back here, so everything else will be an item. Gammachuu, meanwhile, he's going to be also entering Beast Town. We'll see if he decides to just do the boss and leave, or continue to check the back.
Yeah, I mean, this is super fast for him to kind of do right now because he knows exactly which chest has the big key, and he just goes straight to the boss. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes straight to the boss and he's just kind of doing it because he's right here.
Well, we don't have to go up to the top floor, so that will save some time for whoever else goes in. And Gammachuu will be picking up the small key as well. This is smart for him, I think, because just in case the hammer is deeper in this dungeon, although there is only... No, we are the second time off of blind, so there's only 2 in the back.
Yeah, there's only 2 in the back.
First chest of pot is a small key. Alright, so this item... So one item is guaranteed to be hammer locked.
Oh,
But the hammer's here!
Well, good thing Gammachuu is going into the back.
What a find!
Yeah, that would have been
Demo didn't
total
get the small key.
disaster.
Demo did not get the small key. He only got the hammer.
So
he has to go back around.
The bad news for Team Kappa, though, is that Fear's already in pod, so he's gonna have to come back here too.
That is unfortunate, but at least it'll be a quick dive.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't need to flip the switch. He knows the compass is upstairs. But Demolisher does not know what's in the big chest, and Gammachuu can check it. And if that is something else we need, like the ice rod or the mirror, that's going to be huge.
Oh, Salty just skipped the big chest?
Demolisher did not get the small key.
Oh, Demolisher didn't get... Okay, yeah, maybe they, like, didn't communicate that or screwed that up a little bit.
And we might see it immediately from fearagent. Big key chest. Piece of heart.
Yeah, fearagent's just bailing out.
So the hammer has been found. What a dungeon for the hammer to be in, by the way.
Yeah, because, yeah, I mean, there's only 2 in the back, and I mean, they might even think maybe the other team skipped it, and so they might feel really good about that, but...
And fearagent's on his way there. He is not going to let that happen. Saltyphry does have the small key, so we'll check the big chest. So Demo won't have to triple dip the dungeon.
Fearagent, I forgot that they still don't have regular Darkworld access, so he has to go all the way around.
Yep, that hammer will give him regular Darkworld access, though.
Oh man, yeah, it will. I might have just checked the back of pod, you know. Hopefully, like there's another glove back there or something, but yeah.
I mean, I also understand this play as well. The hammer is one of the most important items in the game, and that just unlocks all of your navigation. So, yeah, pretty important to pick that up.
Salty getting his hammer. He's gonna go and check this chest that Demolisher missed. But I don't believe there was anything there.
There's just a heart piece, yeah.
Yeah, this seed's definitely... I feel like it's actually not the best co-op seed because it's been kind of pretty linear and it's just really forcing our runners to... Like, you just don't have a lot of options to really split up.
I mean, this is a bad seed in general in my mind because that hammer position is pretty bad.
Yeah, no, that's a very fair point as well. It is just a generally bad seed.
So it has its pros and its cons. Linear, but it's also, oh, you have a partner to do checks that you don't want to do, just to make sure you didn't miss something.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got its pros and cons here, I'd say. It's kind of a middle of the road seed in terms of co-op. It's not great because of linearity, but it's great because you have someone to check dips that don't feel good, like the thieves without the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, interesting to note, Fear Agent did throw Gammachuu under the bus for that check, but in the process, actually kind of screwed himself because he had to go back for it. So both teams actually, the runner that was kind of in front of the other, they both passed on going to the back, so they did not get that information in time.
Yeah. But now we're gonna see Piles of Darkness from everyone. This is gonna be the opportune time for Fear Agent to do Pod Eastern.
Salty with the nice cape dash strat in the cannonball room saves a little bit of time. Oh, that's a fun placement for a spike.
Twice it for a Mega Spike.
I swear there's always spikes on this bridge. I don't know what it is. I really feel like there's something to that, though.
I mean, that doesn't look fun at all either. It looks like there's 3 Trace Orbs on the way to whatever boss is in Darkness.
Yeah.
Book, I believe, was in the back of the bar. I'm not 100% sure if Demolisher or Saltyphry has it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did and we just missed it.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like one of them probably would have gone there by now if they had it, though. Because they definitely have probably everything they need to complete it, but...
Doing a bomb bust for good measure here. That's not gonna open the wall up though, Gammachuu. I'm sorry. And no, Saltyphry does not have the book. We just saw the item menu there.
Okay. Well,
so if Demolisher doesn't have the book either, then neither of Waffle House Tracer has the book. And there's our 6-eyed Moldorm again.
So yeah, that book.
No, it's 7. I just double counted 7.
That book's interesting because I believe Swamp was a pendant, so the mirror could hypothetically be in GT. So that book could be the logical access to Swamp for the seed. Or not Swamp, excuse me, logical access to Desert.
Good.
Gammachuu getting immediately... Wait, is he trying to Death Warp now? Okay, looks like he's just taking a Death Warp. I think he couldn't jump that ledge without wasting most of his magic, and he didn't want to do it.
This bike apparently was a trap enemy in that room. That flew to 8. Which I didn't see initially.
Salty checking Zora area. I don't think we've seen any of these checks yet.
I think we have seen Zora. It was only
really
$20.
Okay. Well,
I believe Gammachuu is the one that paid for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think very early we did see this.
And that explains the Death Warp there. Gammachuu wanted to get back to the front side of Palace of Darkness so that he can get the key and go on to fight Helmasaur King or whatever boss is here. Now, every boss is still on the table, as a reminder, folks. We've seen a few bosses, but any 2 bosses, any 3 bosses can have a duplicate. It's not just the Armos Knights, the Lambos, and the Moldorm like it is in the vanilla game. We could have 2 Trinex, we could have 2 Vitrius, we could have 2 Mothula. We don't know, and here comes the boss. It's Cold Stare. And this room's actually a very difficult arena for Cold Stare fight, because you can't use the top half of the room due to the spikes being there. You can use them to damage the puff balls, though.
Already down to 2 hearts. Might have a potion, or I don't know, maybe a fairy? Not sure.
We do have the spikes to deal extra damage to Cold Stare, though, which does help us.
Do those do butter sword damage? I feel like they do, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
They do a flat... They do that level of damage, I believe, yes. Mothula would be immune to spikes.
Looks like Demolisher's stream has frozen, unfortunately. One thing about Cold Stare and Randomizer is you might not have enough magic, but thankfully all of our runners have Bombos, and I think they also have a blue potion, so I'm not gonna have to worry about that.
Looks like Gamma did not actually have magic. And it looks like... Alright, looks like we have Demo closer back.
Gamma used his blue potion earlier, I believe, fighting Armos.
The monster heading through this mirror portal.
That was a nice fight by fearagent. It was pretty fast. Saltyphry going for Harapot. Harapot can be a little bit wonky in Atomizer just because sometimes the enemies, like I've seen chain chomps right there, and it's just like the seed is just gonna say no, you're not doing Harapot today. But looks like it's not too bad this time.
And there's the shield there. I did miss what Helmasaur King had on him, but I did notice that Demolisher does not have the book, so neither runner of Waffle House Drive-Thru has checked the bar.
Huh. The brewery in Dark Village?
No, the back of the tavern in
the back of the tavern. Okay. That is not an intentional... That cannot be an intentional skip, so they may or may not be aware of that at all. So hopefully that does not come back to bite them. There was not anything in Desert, so they just gotta hope they run into the mirror sooner or later.
Yeah, as a reminder for anyone who just now tuning in, the reason why the back of the Kakariko Tavern is so important is because it holds the book, which gives us access to the Desert Palace, which in turn gives us access to the Super Fairy Bomb here that we're seeing fearagent carry. And we don't know where the mirror could be. It could be in GP to see. So it could be important. And we haven't seen the tablet yet either. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, we've not seen the tablets either. Oh.
Titan's Mitts! And the red mail. Super bomb absolutely required.
And a blue potion. Wow. Pyramid Fairy coming through.
And wow, I just looked. Our runners are an ice rod from Go mode, basically.
Yeah.
They only need the ice rod in the eventuality they run into a Trinex. It's possible that he's in a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, they may not need it at all, actually. So I would expect them to just pretty much just rush dungeons at this point. But yeah, that Mitts being locked behind the red crystal means that you need the book or the mirror to beat Desert, and we have not seen the mirror yet, so it's very likely the mirror is actually locked behind the book. So Waffle House drive-thru needs to find that book ASAP.
Either is our ability to enter through Mr. Meyer to succeed. We're gonna need coffee right from Demolisher and saltyphry, very specifically. And they are checking Tarahera. Oh, there's our cannon guard!
Yeah, freezing all the enemies there, just Fear Agent not in any kind of mood to deal with them. Gamma immediately blue potioning here against the puffballs on Cold Stare.
Makes sense, does not want to die.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we have a moth over in the Molten Arena here.
Yeah,
Moth pretty
Moth
quickly.
One of the easier bosses in Randomizer, just because he doesn't have his spikes and conveyor belt, so you pretty much just get to free hit him.
Yeah, 4 hits with the Timbersaw and he just goes down instantly. He has the same health as the Helmstone King, which is interesting to note, actually.
Half magic and a nice find for Fear Agent. Will Fear Agent tell Gammachuu about that, though?
Just a reminder to the chat, we have seen the boss of Skull Woods. It is the Armos Knight.
Demolisher setting up a fake flipper here. Are they missing anything from this area? I don't think there was actually anything over here for them.
They're sequence breaking ice piles, I think.
They can't, as they need the mitts.
Ah, you're right.
So
Probably checking the hobo then?
Okay, this is a hobo check. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, you're not getting around that thief. He's playing linebacker over there.
Ian Berna in Misery Mire. Gammachuu now clearing desert to get the Titan Smith. Oh, you know what threw them off, I think?
What?
The chicken house. I think that's where Ether is, isn't it?
Oh. I don't remember where Ether is, but yeah, they're also missing Ether, which both Team Kappa members have.
Oh yeah, so... it was race game, right? I remember now.
That's...
So yeah, Waffle House I don't think has full clear Kakariko yet. And I think it was because Death at the guard house, or the chicken house, that might have threw things off.
Oh, Demo taking another wipe here on Lake Aaliyah. I mean, this is actually quite hard to fake flipper in the Atomizer, so a lot of people just don't even try it.
Yeah, the piece of the puzzle Waffle House is missing is Ether. Or not Ether. Well, they'll need Ether. But also, they have not gone to the back of the tavern. Let's see where Demolisher's going right now.
Oh, it's like
I think they realized it.
3. Okay,
There it
yeah,
is. They remembered.
figured it out. Yeah, this is gonna feel really bad.
Looks like we've got nothing of note from Misery Meyer.
Yeah, well, at this point, really the only thing to note would be the ice rod. Fearagent did pick up half magic though, which is nice to have.
Yeah, the half magic was in the first check of Misery Myers. Pretty easy spot check. And I do not blame Waffle House for missing that location, because the guardhouse could have absolutely destroyed both of them. As a result, they're like, we'll check this later when we have more health. And they just forgot to check the back of the tavern as a result. Because you normally do those checks in tandem.
Yeah, that's definitely, that sounds very plausible as to what happened.
In any case, it's about time for us to see what's in the Victories Arena, and it is another set of Lamolas. Yeah, and the slime still hurts you in this arena. So we have one of our duplicated boss. Lamolas are no longer available to be a boss. We still have 2 possible bosses that can show up again. Or can show up again, rather. And this looks like it's a mountain play. Or, no, wait, this is probably just the flute. Yeah, they're gonna save Turtle Rock for last.
Yeah, that makes sense. Uh-oh. Fear's stream cutting out. Oh, and we're back.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting resynced here. I did notice for a little bit that Demo's timer was not synced up after he got dropped earlier, so we're all back and synced up now.
Alright. Saltyphry gonna take Cold Stare on here. I believe he's the last runner to do so. That was a pretty quick kill on that first puff, just beating him into the spike.
Alright, so the only boss that's in our way is Turtle Rock's boss. If it is... Well, actually, we still have 2 more bosses to play. We have the Trinex boss.
Yeah, and...
that could be Trinex. Right. And we have the Lambo 2 boss, which can be Trinex. The Molten Arena cannot be Trinex. But if the big key is in the Ice Armor's room, that can also be a Trinex location for Ganon's tower.
Yeah, Ice Trinex is not a fun fight either.
Yeah, so there is still possibilities that we have a Trinex, but we also just have the possibility that he's in Ice Palace and we can just ignore it completely. Or Swamp. Ideally Swamp.
Lambo's, I believe, is the only boss we've seen twice, right? So there still could be two Trinexes hiding out there.
There could be. And in the ideal situation here, we're hoping that they are on their the other 2 pendant bosses.
Ideal for Team Kappa. Not so ideal for a Waffle House drive-thru. Yeah, I think that's really what their only way back into this is kind of a trolley ice rod location that ends up being required.
Well, Turtle Rock's still to go, and they're gonna full clear that dungeon most likely. They could just find the ice rod on the way.
Oh yeah, there's definitely still opportunity for them to find it. I believe it could also just be in GT, right? So
It could be.
a
And
lot of locations.
there is one other thing to note is we've checked most of the items that we have that lock their items. So if we don't immediately find the ice rod and we do run into a Trinex, we just follow the items we have on our progression list. Like if we get the mirror, we check our mirror checks and swamp. If we get the flippers, we go into Ice Palace. So there is a bit of open-endedness as to what the end game is for the sea, but it looks like for the most part our runners are sitting pretty fine here. As there's Demolisher is about to get his Titan's Mitts, and saltyphry is right on his heels. Vanilla Vicky and Meyer. Thankfully, fearagent has already done all the item training.
Huh. So yeah, fearagent looks like he is actually ahead of Gamma here, so he's probably just relaying all of the dungeon information to Gamma as he goes through. Let's see, does Gamma pick up half magic here? Oh, he does. Okay, so fearagent was a nice guy and told him about half magic.
Yeah, because that one, as we just saw, is a pretty quick time to get on your way to Vitreous.
The lag on saltyphry's side is insane. Okay, he's throwing in the towel and bombosing.
Now, there is a very small possibility that Icefire can be on pedestal, but that's only if one of our two remaining pendant bosses is not Trinex. Because how it works is it shuffles the items first and then shuffles the enemy.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
good
that's
to
how
know.
the item logic. That's why the bow is still required for kill rooms, even though the enemies can be changed.
I see.
And we're actually seeing Ice Palace being checked by Demo out of logic.
That's an interesting play. They probably feel behind and like they just have to do something crazy to get back into it.
Silver arrows in Super Bunny Cave. Fear Agent picking those up.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice find. Although you've already fought Vitreous, so it's mostly just useful against Ganon unless there's another Vitreous, but definitely never saying no to that. It's also pretty conveniently located.
I mean, we have a second Molder Marina, which Vitreous can be at, so fairly good odds that we have a second Vitreous. In fact, actually, hang on. So the only boss we have not seen is Helmazar King. He's the only non-duplicate boss that could appear that could be forced onto a Molder Marina. We have seen a Molder, we have seen a Cold Stare, we have seen a Vitreous, and we've seen a Maw. So one of our two duplicate bosses could be at the top of Ganon's tower.
That is true, but Fear Agent's a gamer. I think he'll just hover.
I mean, we were forced to get the hook shot. It wouldn't be that much of a difficult fight anyway. Regardless of what boss is there, we've got pretty much everything we need.
Yeah, they still both are, or all the runners are actually still fairly low on hearts, but that's kind of a product of just playing co-op, and you're not really going out of your way to pick as much stuff up. So you're not getting as many heart pieces and stuff.
The counterbalance here is that they have found red mail and everyone has it.
That's true as well. Yeah, I think TR is actually one of the dungeons an Atomizer that might actually be easier than vanilla. Just because all the enemies in here normally are just terrible.
Yeah, Hokobokus, you have Chain Chomps. Yeah, there's a lot of annoying enemy types here for sure. Atomizer does make things a little easier, although there's also the traps, which we can avoid some of them, but not all of them. Piece of Heart and Ice Palace in the meantime for Demolisher. I don't think we found anything of importance.
Yeah, I feel like this Ice Palace play, you know, I feel like I understand the logic. You feel super behind. Like, there's almost no way that Team Kappa didn't get that book early, so it just seems kind of like desperation strat, maybe. But, I mean, I do think it's also kind of strategically the correct play to at least give yourself a shot to get back in it somehow. Because, like, if the Ice Rod is here and there's a Trinex and Moldorm too, like, they legitimately could win, but it's not likely.
The boss of Ice Palace is Trinex, though!
Trinex. Well,
which means it's very unlikely for a Trinex to appear in GT. It is possible still, but we have at least one assured.
yeah.
And there's only 2 duplicates. And they can only one of them can be another Trinex.
Yeah, things just not going Waffle House's way.
Flippers inside Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's pretty much an inconsequential item unless there's the Ice Rod in Swamp, but we'd still need the mirror for that as well. That would be pretty crazy whole sequence of logic.
Thank card, well timed there.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch.
Smith checks. Could also be the Ice Rod. We have yet to see those.
Yeah, these are more fairly inefficient checks to do, just because they don't have a mirror. But again, it's kind of the same thing. They're just going for, I guess they're just going for the Ice Rod and hoping for the best.
I hope they're not playing to all dungeons logic.
Oh, that is a fair point. It is possible if they did not maybe practice that they forgot about that.
Gold sword on the bridge, meanwhile, the 3rd key there, and the last item on Laser Bridge is the compass. Alright, folks, moment of truth. Is this the second Trinex in the vanilla dungeon? Or are we allowed to enter GT? And if so, we better get ready, because this is the final crystal. Smiths being turned in. The Smiths have the mushroom. It is an Argus here in Turtle Rock. And
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen, that is the 7th crystal caught. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game we like to play, and we haven't played it in a while. We have 22 chests in Ganon's tower, only one of which can be the big key. Give us a number in chat to tell you where you think the big keys will be. I'm thinking it's going to be a fairly early number, and it's going to be 5.
I mean, this is Team Kappa we're talking about. It's definitely going to be 1 with a small key right next to it in Hope Room, so we'll see.
Oh no, our tracker just informed us of something important here. It looks like, according to the individual race trackers for our 2 runners, Demo and saltyphry think Meyer is the green pendant and Ice Crystal.
Uh, and they couldn't even kill the boss. So hopefully they have like the dungeon music enabled so that like that would at least alert them to it. But Demolisher did the entire dungeon, so everything just
checks.
going wrong for them.
Multi and a map. We still have a chance of the ice rod being required. Smokey on the torch. Four more items here. Mushroom being turned in the meantime. 20 rupees. Park container. 20 more rupees. 10 bombs. And 10 arrows on the mushroom turn in. The body blocking fear agent. We are up to check number 8? Yeah, it's 8. The ice rod is in GT!
Alright, well
That's game!
yeah, that is go mode for sure, and with how far behind Waffle House Drive-Thru is, it's pretty unlikely they're gonna be able to catch up. Alright, well, Demolisher, they finally came back here for the race game, and they are going to get their medallion. Looks like their early game routing is very unfortunate. Like, they just, they missed a couple things, and, it really just came back to bite them.
Here is entering Dark World here. Compass 20 rupees, 3 bombs, and a piece of heart. That is 13 checks total. We are on to check number 14 here in Ganon Tower. Gammachoo's heading left in order to get the ice rod for sure here, just in case there's a Trinex upstairs.
Yeah, he's only got 2 hearts, so that's actually pretty scary. He probably will take a death at some point. Whoa, that chain chomp.
Chest number 14. Driving down the Ice Armos. It is blind.
Use the cane.
It's really got a blind ice pattern here on this ice.
You got half magic fear. Use your magic. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's does he have a fairy? Like, I hope.
It's irrelevant because it's the dungeon.
Oh, did he? Oh, you already found the big key?
Yeah, it was at the top.
Oh, okay. I didn't
It was
see
before
that.
the drop down. But it was in a position that he was better off checking it this boss fight.
Okay. No, that makes sense now. I don't know why he was attacking fear, or I guess that spawns more heads, maybe.
Wait, the mirror was found?
The mirror.
Where did the
looks like
mirror
Gamma has a mirror. That must have been.
Oh, was that on right
side
to GT? Bottom right of compass room had the mirror. So
Well-
there was no way to get to Argus at speed either.
Yeah, so that book was super hard required.
So both runners now on Team Camp in the Definitive Go mode. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, folks, a win here has clinched the playoff spot for them. The tiebreakers will all work out in Team Kappa's favor, from what I have been told. Calling now for her Fear Agent.
Yeah, gold sword pretty nice to have here in the gauntlet. Oh, clutch fairy there.
Hopefully we get Gammachoo's feedback. In the meantime, saltyphry has defeated Argus at the Trinex fight.
Oh,
And Helmazur King was blocking the way to the top of the tower. Which means Trinex did not matter. There's the map to confirm that Misery Mire was in fact a crystal. Oh, it looks like we may have lost Gamma, actually. Oh.
Like his stream is completely dead?
We're getting information from Drossi in chat that Gamma is completely offline.
Oh, I really hope that he's still recording locally or whatever, and wasn't like a power cut or something like that. But even if it was like a power cut, you know, he's got time. Okay, he's back.
A couple minutes behind, it looks like, from the other runners, but we'll get this back up in sync, I think, in just a moment.
That's a pretty unfortunate placement for that spike.
Yeah, Demolish and saltyphry now know that they are in a go mode here. We know that there is now a second duplicate boss confirmed here in the Molten Arena, because we've seen one of every other boss that can be in a Molten Arena. So now the question is, who's the last boss that was in Swamp? We'll never know. Whatever it is, it's a duplicate boss. We've seen every single boss.
Yeah, that is correct. We have seen every boss, so... Oh,
and there's a second Helmazur King here. Using bomb strats here?
Not hovering. Interesting.
Oh, Helmazur King can snipe you out of the hover.
That is
so
true.
That makes some sense. And
Oh,
there's not much...
I think he's going for it. Oh.
It's kind of a hard boss to fight.
Yeah, it's a pretty annoying boss to fight. I mean, you can get sniped out of the hover, but it's pretty annoying to fight.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially to get the mass in this tight quarters.
Yeah, I believe, if I remember correctly, like if Helmazur is over a pit, like the hammer doesn't, like the hammer hits don't count on his mask or something weird like that, but I could be wrong.
Looks like we're getting... Yeah, we resynced at least with our runners on Waffle House drive-thru.
Alright, Fear Agent finishing off Helmazur King. pretty much not much standing left in his way besides Agga and Ganon, so...
Ignoring the final chest.
Yeah, I mean, they have, like, literally everything you could possibly want, so... completely understandable.
Yep, Gammachuu already done with the fight. Although, keep in mind that he is still about 90 seconds behind fearagent here. Alright, we synced up the other 3 runners here. Fearagent will be the first to Ganon. And Agga is down, so now fearagent will fight the pig. We seem to have switched over to Demonologist in the meantime. Now we're going to sync fearagent's timer. Okay. So it looks like Gammachuu got through to Ganon faster than fearagent did.
Yeah, I mean, fearagent got hung up a bit on Helmasaur King. Alright, 2.5 hearts here. Gotta be a little bit careful. I'm not sure if he's a fairy, but yeah, pretty much anything will kill him. Oh.
And
Now
down. For good measure here. Gonna hold on the wall to prevent magic from draining. So far, so good. And Demo and saltyphry are in their final dungeon here. 3rd hit from Gammachuu. Nearly fully resynced with fearagent here. One shot. And we are now resynced, and as Gammachuu, and for gonna see fearagent's fight, as Gammachuu finishes off Ganon. Ladies and gentlemen, get the GG's in chat for Gammachuu, who will be the first of our 4 runners to finish. However, his time does not lock in Team Kappa just yet. This is a race of averages. We will take the average time between Team Kappa and Team Waffle House Drive-Thru, and the average time between the 2 runners is the winning time.
Yeah,
However,
I think it would...
in this case, that is a moot point, because if Team Kappa finishes completely ahead of either runner from Waffle House Drive-Thru, then the average cannot be bested, no matter what the Waffle House Drive-Thru does.
Yeah, it would take a meltdown of like never seen before in rando history for Team Kappa to lose this one. So it's not 100% over, but yeah, it's gonna take a lot.
Get the double. Oh, just a single. Waiting for Ganon to get a little closer. Gets the stun. 1, 2. Probably not tripled. Yep. A little too slow. But there we go. That's the triple. Ladies and gentlemen, get your GG in the chat for Team Kappa. Coming in strong here. This time cannot be bested by the average time of Team Waffle House Drive-Thru. So, Team Kappa will win and will be clinched a playoff spot, according to the information I was handed before the race.
Yeah, GG's to Team Kappa. They played well. And yeah, really a lot of it came down to that book. And yeah, they routed that in and they got the mitts out of Pyramid Fairy. But yeah, GG's to them.
So just for official race times here, Gammachuu finished in 1 hour 19 minutes 52 seconds. Fearagent finished in 1 hour 21 minutes 13 seconds. Rough math there puts the average finishing time around 1 hour 20 minutes. Which, as you can see, has not been bested by 2 runners here.
Looks like Team Kappa is going to join us for an interview here in a second.
Yep. And it looks like it's gonna be a little bit for them, but yeah, it looks like we will be joined by them. Team Waffle House Drive-Thru did eventually forfeit the race here. They're gonna have a little bit more gameplay here, and we are now joined by all 4 runners of this race. GG's to you both, an excellent race to be sure. Bit of a rough one though at the start.
Thanks.
We're still
GG,
racing.
guys.
What? How'd you guys get in here?
Yo, GG's.
Yeah, GG's, guys. So, what happened with that early game routing with the book?
Well, got a bottle early, so check sick kid. There was a lot of talking going on, and I just completely ran past the back at tavern.
Yeah, that's pretty unlucky that pretty much everything hinged on that one check. But yeah, I mean, we've all done that before.
Oh, both of you ended up skipping on back of tavern?
So I was in the Kakariko before saltyphry. He went to Uncle, and then where did you go after that in the first spot?
Went and tried to do Hyrule Castle until I died to the bouncing cabbage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because
Killing that with 2 bombs was kind of awkward.
the 2-1 tree pull helped him go through there a little bit.
Oh, you actually attempted to do Hyrule Castle with just bombs?
Yeah.
That's what Salty tried to.
Oh, that's
we don't do that because
Yeah.
it's. I mean, sure, you could come across enemies that are pretty easy, but that's pretty insane.
I mean,
I don't mean to cut off the conversation here, but I just want to clarify something for chat here. As we mentioned, Drosy in chat is one of our admins, and it says that Team Kappa will be locked in here as the 3rd seed if Kyle Roomies can take a game off the French Arena Drifters in the Goldwood division. Otherwise, they will have the 2nd seed. So they are confirmed to be advancing to playoffs. Congratulations to you guys once again.
yeah.
I mean, sometimes you got to be, it's better to be lucky than good. So that's kind of how we're going to continue to play it.
How many times will fearagent mention luck in this interview?
I mean, it's the Team Kappa motto. I mean, they skipped book, right? Like that's lucky for us, I guess.
No, we skipped book. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You skipped book, so that's lucky for us, right? Like,
Probably the only reason why we ended up winning.
right?
Let's be real.
Like,
Yeah,
we
let's be
skipped
real.
hammer. We skipped. I was in pod. We skipped without the hammer. Gamma did what he did in the pod boss, and I got to GT without the mirror and was trying to figure out, do I death warp, do I kill blind? It was ended up being a combination of both. So
Yeah, you faked me out there. I didn't realize you had the big key, and so I thought that you were like you died to him. I was like, uh-oh.
yeah, I was like, Gamma, like, what do I do here? I don't know. That's the thing about Atomizer, and I'm not a fan of this mode. I do not like Atomizer. It requires a lot of improvisation, and I'm not great at that in this game. And so, no mirror, and I knew where the mirror was because Gamma ended up getting it on the compass chest, or the compass room, and then I get it at Bob's chest, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, if blind is not like a quick death sort of enemy. So I'm like, do I kill it because I can kill him, but do I die? I don't know. It was just a mess, and then it was just a mess. So
Yeah.
My understanding. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off. Wouldn't it have been faster to just double back, go through the big chest room? But that's just me.
Did you guys go to ice at all?
no, why would we go to ice?
Oh, the
Because I
question was gonna
mismarked my tracker.
Oh, you had it marked as a crystal.
Yeah, I got
we had
the two
some issues
bottom
with that
ones
as well.
And
Oh,
ice
wow.
had the Trinex. So I'm like, oh my god, because I still thought it was a crystal. I'm like, oh my god, we need the ice rod, so we might still be in this race.
Oh, that feels pretty bad.
And then I was in Meyer, I'm like, wait, why does Meyer have crystal music? And I'm like, Salty, please check the map when you get out of pod. And that sucked.
Did you guys scout Lumberjack right away?
Oh yeah, immediately.
You guys
Yeah.
saw the ether on race game, right? You just put it off for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you had. I'm sorry. You had a Meyer marked as a pendant because I
Yeah.
saw you do Turtle Rock and then you backtracked to do Meyer. I'm like, wait, why did he do that before Meyer?
Salty did that.
But yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was still searching for it. I've ended up full clearing. I ended up finding the flippers in there. I don't know how detailed you guys went in there, if you found those flippers or not.
Yeah, we didn't want to leave anything behind just in case we did come across Trinex in Turtle Rock or GT. So we full cleared Turtle Rock. We full cleared. You know, we did the Hookshot Cave and everything, and then just we didn't want to have to backtrack. So like when I found those flippers in the big chest, and you know we're pretty much in go mode, save for the Astrod. He was like, "Do I get it?" I'm like, "I think so, just in case." Like, because it'd be terrible to have to come all the way back for.
Yeah, you find that mirror and you find that Trinex or something like that.
So I figured
it's terrible.
It was worth it. Really, I actually thought this was seed. I mean, again, things went a little bit different for us, but I thought the seed was actually pretty kind because you didn't have the mirror to like do any of the mirror checks. We were basically Mitts go mode, and you know, Mitts didn't unlock a ton for us, so there wasn't a lot of like extra checks. I think Hammer in the back of Thieves Town was a little rough. Did you guys get that first trip or?
Salty went into.
I went straight to the boss, and when he went there, yeah, he went to the back, so he ended up getting it then.
I completely didn't get the small key because I'm like, well, the only thing that this could be is the hammer. So like, I'm not too worried about it. And it was the hammer. Like, of course it is. Of course it is. Thankfully, the big chest was nothing. It was a heart piece.
Funny you say that too, because as I'm making my way back, because Fear already did the boss, the blind boss. You know, I'm telling him, you know, I should probably get this key, but maybe skip it just in the very unlikely event the hammer's sitting back there and there's an item in the big chest. And of course that ends up playing out, but yeah, there was nothing important in the big chest.
Beginning of the seed was very nice. If I was like, hey, got the book early, this would have been a lot closer because we went straight over to. Well, I went straight over to Ice Rod Cave, got that second sword after Mini Moldarm Cave, because good bees are really good in Atomizer for Mini Moldarm.
We were actually talking about a little bit about this little interesting quirk with this, in that this seed was fairly linear for a cooperative seed, which made it kind of bad. But at the same time, there was checks that you wouldn't normally do in an Atomizer seed when you were alone, like getting the hammer out of the back of Thieves Town, that a partner would really help you out. So it was kind of a little bit of a give and take with the seed.
Yeah, that hammer in the back of Thieves Town, I can pretty much guarantee in a normal Atomizer, I would 100% the blast location that.
I would have immediately gotten that because I don't skip it.
Yeah, I'm never going to the back of Thieves Town in an Atomizer unless I have to. And we did a practice seed that had Ice Rod in the back of Thieves Town, which was required, and then this seed, which had Hammer in the back of Thieves Town, which was required. And the person that was in Thieves Town first, in both times we raced this, you know, had to double back for it because we just don't make that play.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too, Salty and Demo. Did any of you, when you went to do Agga, did any of you make the pod play first before going to West Dark World?
Yeah, Salty did.
Oh, okay.
No, wait.
No, you did, I think, right? Yeah.
But one of you
remember
did.
now.
No.
I'm pretty sure
No,
one of us.
we didn't go into pod at all until later on. I went into pod first, but that was after I got the hammer.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you ended up single dipping pod.
Yeah, but pod is nothing. Of course it does.
Yeah.
So Fear Agent, 118 collection rate, Gamma only at 100. How's your back feel?
I mean,
okay. Well, I had him do most of the checks. Yeah, a lot of the garbage checks. There was nothing when he did the Dark World loop. There was absolutely nothing. I found all the important items. The hammer. I think that's the only important item. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was funny because again, like we've done some practice with this, and it's not a mode that I'm particularly fond of. I don't know how Gamma really feels about it. I don't think he loves it, but as we've practiced, there's things that I've forgotten, and those same things that Gamma's reminded me in those seeds are the things that Gamma forgot in this seed. So that just kind of felt
that was
a little nice.
Okay. I could explain that a pod play too, because I ended up using a fire rod shot to activate the switch before I made my way to the boss room. And as soon as I used that, I knew, oh, that's bad. I don't think I have enough magic for a combo.
It was. I Gold Star. I forgot.
Yeah, I usually consider that too. And I used a blue potion on the Armos fight because fighting Armos and Skullwood just sucks, even if you have the bow. And yeah, of course, it ended up being a Cold Stare, and I didn't have magic for that.
I thought it was in pod.
Yeah, pod had the Cold Stare.
Bombos.
Oh yeah, I didn't even have no magic for Act Bombos. Yeah, I used.
He used the last of his magic to activate the switch, as opposed to saving his magic for the
it was force
which
of
he's
habit.
reminded me of
Force
in
of
the past.
habit. Yeah, it was force of habit. I'm activating the switch.
I thought he had full magic, used a fire rod shot, and didn't have bombos.
No, I barely had any magic.
It's okay, Gamma. You're still learning.
Yeah, I mean, you learn from your mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, I throw at the end with the Helma fight. Like, I just do not like this mode. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to go for the hover, and then you did, but then you abandoned it.
Well,
that Helma's in a worse
I tried two hovers today, and they both were failed like miserably. So I just abandoned it the first time.
So, funny thing about that, Salty, when I first said that the hookshot was on Lumberjack, Salty was like, well, Fear knows how to hover. I don't know about Gammachuu. So that might be an issue.
And I thought about it a little more and realized in Atomize, the chances of the hookshot not being required are extremely low, even if you can hover, because Argus can be anywhere. I completely forgot about that fact when I was thinking about that.
Yeah, we did see Argus somewhere, right? We saw him, was it Meyer or something, I think?
Turtle Rock, I think?
Oh, that's right.
Trinex boss.
Yeah.
The only boss we don't know was the one in Swamp House, but then again, everything that we needed to enter Swamp House was in GT, so it was the third duplicate, whichever one it was, though. Because we saw two Hypnosaurs at the very top of the tower, and we had a duplicate.
Duplicate Lammo.
Yeah, duplicate Lammo.
What was the Moldorm 2 boss?
It was another Helmosaur King.
Oh, it was two Helmas in G. Okay, so then the last one could be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could not be another Lambo. It could not be another.
Yeah, besides those two.
We found already two duplicates.
Yeah, Landmo and Helma.
Oh right. Oh yeah, and we've seen everything else. Okay.
Yeah, there was a Moth and Hera.
There was Moth and Hera. There was a Trinex in Ice Palace.
The Armos Knights fight in Skullwoods also sucks. I feel like every boss in Skullwoods sucks other than Moth. It's like, just give me Moth, please.
Coldstare fight in Palace of Darkness is not that great either.
No, there's Coldstare not too bad in Skullwoods.
Well, that fight's a trade-off because the spikes help you killing the puffs, but you can't use the high ice crystals anymore.
You could run around the ice.
I suppose it's true. Anyway,
in general, I think Armos is probably the worst boss you can get in Skullwoods.
Yeah, I felt pretty confident.
Awkward. It's super awkward.
I go in there.
Why
one of those
couldn't
things where
we
you
get
hope you have
helicopter?
Blue Cane and half magic. Just kind of
Yeah.
Why couldn't we get helicopter? Helicopter's great.
I love helicopter. I hope we see it sometime this week. But speaking of this week, you guys, this is only your first game this week, is it not?
Yeah,
That's correct.
I do not see it on the schedule here.
Oh, I
Should be
totally
Saturday.
forgot to put that up. But yeah, it's
Someone
Sunday,
was supposed to
actually.
submit that. I heard someone said they were going to submit that.
Yeah,
You freaking
Yeah.
Gamma.
I will do
Alright, so it's
that.
sometime it's okay, but it's sometime on Saturday. Alright, so we'll keep an eye out for you
Yeah.
guys then.
I thought it was
And-
Sunday. Isn't it Sunday?
Sunday,
I don't
yeah.
Sunday at
Oh,
3,
Sunday,
I think?
okay. You
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
confusing me now.
Sunday
I
at
don't
3
know. I'm
p.m.
not playing.
Sunday at 3
I'm not
p.m.
playing it because
I just agree to a time when I can show up. I don't know. I don't remember specifically. I'll check on Sunday what time it is.
Well, regardless, folks, if you want to see some more randomizer action, unfortunately, this is the last match of the night, but we do have a match starting at 7:10 p.m., and it will be the 2019 Titans of the 2019 versus the Sexy Gans, and Dante and Sailor Net versus Yagamoth and Fan. I believe I'm reading that right. That will be over on SpeedGaming. And, of course, make sure to follow Fear Agent, Gammachuu, saltyphry, and D-Demolition here. They put on an excellent race for us today. Also, make sure to follow SpeedGaming at SpeedGaming 226 so you don't miss any racing action. Not just the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We also had 2 trackers working for us tonight because it's really hard to keep track of 4 feeds with one person alone. Those were Alador and Mindful Bees. And, of course, my co-commentator was again Well. Thank you for joining me tonight. That was a great show.
yeah. Thanks. It's been fun.
Yep. But that's going to do it for us here. So from all of us here at the Link to Past Randomizer Invitational League, I have been Wolfling0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.